To be quite honest with you, I think Mike Tomlin is about to make a major mistake for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Welcome back to Mike Drop Sports here for a Tomlin Tuesday here to review the Mike Tomlin press conference. And to be quite honest with you, again, I think Mike Tomlin is about to stumble a little bit here in some of his decision making with the Pittsburgh Steelers. The list of injuries now seem to be about status quo. Zach Frazier appears to be week to week. Probably won't see him, in my opinion, till after the bye is completed. That would probably be the best recipe for him in order to get fully healthy, no structural damage to Zach Frazier, his ankle area. So that's a super big thing for the Steelers. Ryan McCullum will fill in the meantime, a guy that hopefully can get the job done. I think he can. I think he will be serviceable, and hopefully the Steelers will not miss a beat. Herbig, he's out again this week. So, yeah, those types of things are still mounting. I can't recall what Alex Highsmith's issues were, or if he was able to return or not this week. I'll report on that tonight during the live show. It's just slipping my mind now, though. After listening to the Mike Tomlin press conference and what he had to say about the win against the Raiders and what he had to say about this quarterback competition now that is really starting to heat up for the Pittsburgh Steelers, it kind of gave me a little bit of an uneasy feeling here headed into the Jets game. Now that the Jets have acquired or are about to acquire Davante Adams from the Raiders, giving Aaron Rodgers yet another weapon, and the Mike Williams signing, the Lazard signing, on and on for the Jets, and Aaron Rodgers now gets Davante Adams. Having a solid run game, the Jets can still bring pressure from the defensive side of the football, cause turnovers, played the Bills really well last night. But in my opinion, the referees cost the Jets that game, and now I become ultra worried here as the Pittsburgh Steelers head into a game with the New York Jets led by Aaron Rodgers. I think that the Pittsburgh Steelers could perhaps have some significant issues trying to guard all of those guys, trying to keep Aaron Rodgers at bay, and I think there may be a mistake at that quarterback position for the Steelers, with Mike Tomlin leaving the door open to the possibility that Russell Wilson may be the starter this week. I think if you are Mike Tomlin, you are now disrupting the team's chemistry that has been built here over the first 6 weeks of the season. You have a 4-2 record. Mike Tomlin was asked last season when Kenny Pickett was 4-2 if there would be any type of changes, and Mike Tomlin said no, and that was with the offense struggling. And now you see Justin Fields and the offense not quite as bad, but however, he sits 4-2, and when asked the question, he said this is a different group, a different set of circumstances, different players. And by the vibe that I got from Mike Tomlin, he feels ultra comfortable with Russell Wilson and his veteran presence. Will Russell Wilson be able to come in and supply a sense of comfortability for these Pittsburgh Steelers players on offense? Will he come and bring that steady hand? Will he be able to facilitate the football to the playmakers a little bit better than what Justin Fields has been able to do so far this season? Will Russell Wilson be able to save himself from poor offensive line play? Will the offensive line be able to play a little bit better in front of Russell Wilson? Maybe taking away the dynamic of those runs that could perhaps happen at any second, maybe taking something off their plate perhaps. Or does the legs of Justin Fields provide this Pittsburgh Steelers offensive line with that X factor to save them from bad play when they are hurting inside of a ball game and Justin Fields has the ability to escape? There are a lot of variables coming in, and you are going to see a circus on the South Side this week during the Pittsburgh Steelers practices. This is going to become a major topic of discussion. This is going to provide major distraction for this football team, and if I were Mike Tomlin, I would get this out of the way early and name a starter quickly, because the circus that you are about to have in that building is going to be ridiculous and a distraction that you do not need. And this is right now a time where I'm really questioning Mike Tomlin's ability right now to be the head coach of this football team. And I say that very hesitantly, because I don't want to pin somebody like that, and really put all the blame on them. But right now, I think Mike Tomlin is really grossly mismanaging this situation because of loyalties to players and things of that nature, because they're a veteran. I just feel like Mike Tomlin is tiptoeing and really walking a fine line with this Steelers offense and this Steelers team chemistry as a whole. And I think that really it could blow up in his face in a major way when you go away from a guy that has been built up over 6 weeks and has the Steelers at a 4-2 record. You cannot stunt people's growth, players' growth, by removing them from the situation, by taking and killing their confidence when you just bring back Russell now all of a sudden and put Justin on the bench when he hasn't played bad enough for you to constitute that, in my opinion. Maybe some of you feel like Russell Wilson deserves the shot because Justin hasn't got it done. Maybe you feel like that. Maybe I'm in the minority here with feeling that Justin hasn't lost the job with his play. Maybe I'm in the minority of feeling like Justin Fields' athletic ability alone has to keep him behind center because of the way this Steelers team on offense is currently constructed. Maybe I'm wrong, but maybe you're right. We'll have to see this play out, guys. But again, my major concern is the media circus that is about to ensue in that building on the south side. I think it is a horrible mistake. And I felt like so far this season, Mike Tomlin had played his cards right with this Justin Fields, Russell Wilson situation. I felt like he handled it and used Russell Wilson as a shield, that injury to Russell Wilson, as a shield to deflect any type of controversy inside of that building. However, right now, I just feel like that he's making a mistake. I feel like Justin Fields doesn't deserve that. I feel like you don't bench Justin Fields until his play tells you to bench Justin Fields. I don't believe Justin Fields should lose his job to a veteran. Well, Justin's a veteran now too. He's played 4 years in this league. But I don't think Justin should lose his job because a guy's just coming back now all of a sudden after 6 weeks. I don't think Russell Wilson should have that type of pull because he's not been a member of this football team for years, to where I don't feel like he's earned that with this franchise. Now, across the league, yes, he's won Super Bowls. He's played in 2 Super Bowls. And I really wanted to see him this year. I really wanted to see Russell Wilson play ball because I thought he was the best option. But times change, things change, situations change, and the Pittsburgh Steelers find themselves in a vastly different situation now as they were in the offseason. In the offseason, they had an abundance of offensive linemen. The situation at the offensive line was a good one, was one of strength, was one of depth. And now you find yourself in a situation that's not so good. And if you're the Steelers, I think that definitely bringing a guy that is closer to the end of his career might just be a mistake that you can't afford to have, considering you are now neck and neck in the AFC North with the Baltimore Ravens, both teams at 4-2. Going into a game against the Jets where the Jets really played the Bills really, really well, and that's a good ball club, and the Bills finally held on. I know that the penalties were ridiculous. The penalties were out of control. So, in my opinion, I thought the Jets probably should have beat the Bills last night. But still, guys, you can't blame any outside factor. You just got to go with the result and deal with it what it is. We knew the officiating in this league is trash. Well, we've known that for so long. It's just another variable that you have to overcome sometimes as a football team, and you're going to have to just deal with because they're not going to change it. The referees are garbage, and that's just what the situation is. So, here we are. Here we are on a Tuesday, a Tomlin Tuesday, the press conference done. Now the situation is what it is. Mike Tomlin opened the door to some controversy this week. Mike Tomlin has opened the door for this team to lose what chemistry it has built. Mike Tomlin has opened the door to crush the confidence of a young Justin Fields, a guy that could potentially be the long-term answer. And opens up Russell Wilson to maybe possibly getting his clock cleaned a couple times, considering he might not be as mobile as he once was behind a poor offensive line group, at least right now, as we viewed it. So, here we are, guys. The Pittsburgh Steelers heading up against this Jets team, a game that I think is going to be a very tight and physical game. I think it is going to be one in which the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to hang on and fight for every damn point, every damn inch that they gain in that game. And I think, honestly, too, the only thing that might help the Pittsburgh Steelers, which we will talk about more tonight, is I think Jaylen Warren, his workload will increase. I think Cordell Patterson is starting to work his way back. I think you could eventually see him here in the next couple weeks. But perhaps maybe, their thoughts are to keep him out until after the bye, to get a real full arsenal whenever they come back out of that bye, to be as healthy as possible coming out of that bye to play some division games. But that might be the only thing that saves the Pittsburgh Steelers against the Jets, is a more healthy, more effective Jaylen Warren. And couple that with a guy like Najee Harris that just came off a big game in Las Vegas, you may be able to control the time of possession in a way that you limit Aaron Rodgers and his opportunities and really create a situation in which Aaron Rodgers becomes a non-factor in this football game. So here we are, week 7, guys. So until tonight for our live show, we like to call it Steel City Live. Make sure you're sharing it, liking it, all that good stuff. We've been gaining some subscribers. We've been gaining some views. So things are picking back up here on the channel. Again, we appreciate you and your support. We appreciate the super chats. That's been super cool. All you guys, Biz, Beer Malls, the last couple nights, you guys truly, truly appreciate that. I'm very humbled by your thoughts to think of me and to donate to the channel to continue to grow our product here at Mike Drop Sports. So until then, I'm Jason. This is Mike Drop Sports. Peace, guys.